Actually, it should be a pretty brief meeting today, too.
Hi, Terry.
Okay, you're good to go.
Thanks, Annette. Oh, you're muted, Mike. Yep.
Okay, now the meeting is live. I want to call the Brownfield meeting open on June 10th, 2021 at 1:30. And if Jennifer would like to do the roll call.
Freeling,
Present via Zoom, Baroda Township.
Klett,
Present via Zoom, Lincoln Township.
Majerick,
Present, Zoom, City of Niles.
Meeks is absent. Vankenhoven.
Present via Zoom, Lincoln Charter Township.
Mr. Chair, you have 4 present.
Thank you, everyone. Let's do the approval of the minutes. Has everybody received them?
Yep. And yes, I make a motion that we approve the minutes of the meeting of May 13th, 2021.
I'll support.
Great. Any discussion on them? Well, let's take a roll call again or a vote.
Freeling,
Yes.
Klett,
Yes.
Majerick,
Yes.
Meeks is absent. Vankenhoven.
Yes.
You have 4 yeas.
All right. And is there any correspondence?
No correspondence. We've had some discussion with some state partners, but I'll discuss that later on in the agenda.
Okay. Jennifer, is there any public comments?
I will check for you.
I'm not seeing any. Are you, Annette?
No, I just was going to ask one more time just to make sure.
Okay. Can we move forward and come back to that?
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Well, Dan, do you want to take over and go over the budget?
Yeah. In fact, the real reason just for calling you here today is to ratify a couple bills that a bill that we've paid and a bill that we need to approve. At first order of businesses, as of June 1st, our cash balance, I think I sent this out to you just late this morning. Our cash balance is $1,847,775.90. We have made one payment that we're asking for ratification on, and that's the Riemann Robson audit that's been completed. I should have the finished audit available for you to review in July, but it looks fine from what I've seen. That bill that we did pay was $1,850, which is a little bit below what we had reserved out as a voucher. And secondly, we did get our reimbursement request from Harbor Shores for the 2020 tax year in the TIF amount of $1,338,099.25. We haven't paid that yet, but we've started the cycle process so that the check, I think, might issue this afternoon and we can get it off to Harbor Shores pretty quickly. So in total, we have a bill to ratify and a bill to approve in the amount of $1,339,949.25. After payment of those two bills, our cash balance and fund balance will drop to $507,826.65. So still a very healthy cash and fund balance of $500,000 and change.
Okay, and do we do a motion for that?
Yes, to approve the bill. Yeah.
I'll make a motion to approve the bills that set forth before us.
And I'll second that motion.
Okay, is there any discussion? All right, Jennifer, could you take a vote?
Freeling,
Yes.
Klett,
Yes.
Majerick,
Yes.
Meeks is absent. Vankenhoven.
Yes.
You have 4 yeas.
Okay,
Okay, just to give you a brief idea of where we're going to be on the finances, or at least I can project now for the next 6 months. I don't see a huge change. We'll have our summer tax collection coming in sometime near the end of September. We're expecting that the TIF amounts from the various projects are not going to change substantially. Harbor Shores may see about $100,000 to $200,000 growth. I think the big change is going to occur for the 2022 tax cycle, because most of the Harbor Village construction that's going on right now, well, not most of it, but a large portion of that construction will come out of the tax rolls in 2022. So we'll probably see a pretty substantial hike in the TIF collection in that time. But this year is going to be relatively the same as last year, it looks like. If you want, I'll just move forward and give you some updates on some of the recent projects. The
please do.
Harbor Woods project, we're done. All of our work is completed on that. We're just waiting for the developer to break ground. I just drove out there yesterday to take a look. It doesn't appear as though he's broken ground yet. I haven't checked in with it to determine why, but I'm hoping that they get out there and get some construction underway yet this summer. Material prices have, I hope you got to lock them in right now, because they seem to be rising on a daily basis. But I will follow up with Pearson, and I'll follow up with Mark Seaman too, to see if there's a timetable, an updated timetable we can get our hands on, take a look at when this is going to happen. I'm hoping soon. On the Whirlpool St. Joe Tech Center, we've had 2 meetings with the MEDC on this, most recently yesterday afternoon for about an hour and a half or so, just to prepare for our June 22nd meeting with the Michigan Strategic Fund. You remember, we have to go to the Strategic Fund to request that we are allowed to capture school taxes for the non-environmental costs of this project, the infrastructure and site preparation costs and so forth. The MEDC staff are the ones that serve as staff to the Strategic Fund, and they make various recommendations on these projects. We reviewed yesterday the MEDC's summary of the project statement and the staff recommendation. And in both cases, it was an excellent summary of the project, and the staff is recommending that the project be approved for school tax capture in the amount that we requested. I believe the state component is about 1.85 million. So, barring any substantial questions coming up, we're also going to be meeting. There's a pre-meeting that occurs with the MEDC board members themselves, where they can ask questions prior to the public meeting. I'm going to attend that, listen in, see if there are any questions from the board members, but MEDC staff is confident that this project will move through unanimously. We'll be attending the June 22nd meeting virtually to answer any questions they might have from local members of the community. So by June 22nd, we should have this thing wrapped up, and I think that Whirlpool is going to start almost immediately with the construction and the demolition components of it. So it's moving forward quickly. Does anyone have any questions for me?
Dan, is the indications that they will get that Michigan Strategic Fund and be able to capture the taxes?
That's the recommendation from the MEDC staff, and as I said, the staff is confident that board will approve their recommendations. So, okay. Lee, in my experience, it generally doesn't even get to this point unless everyone's pretty much in agreement that the project is suitable to move forward.
Okay. Okay.
Generally speaking, the staff weans out the projects that they know are not going to be approved.
Good.
Anything else? Any other questions? Miscellaneous items.
I have no miscellaneous items. Mike, and I will say, I'll mention one thing, Mike. I'm going to be meeting with the city of Niles here, I believe, still this month, to go over some of the index Brownfield invoices that are starting to roll in. We're seeing for the first time some tax increment revenue, but starting next year, there's going to be a considerable amount of tax increment revenue. I mean, well into the millions of dollars at least. So we're going to be meeting with the city to help them kind of sort through these invoices, categorize them, and figure out the priority of payment, because they're going to have to start issuing some pretty substantial checks here next year, it looks like.
Is there any movement on the national standard or the other parcels in Niles? Just Okay.
On the national standard, I've spoken with the city, I've spoken with the consultant to the developer, the proposed developer, and it's still kind of in this limbo of getting all of the releases in place in order to do the project. The proposed project, I think this has been announced publicly, so I don't believe I'm saying anything inappropriate. But the proposed project is basically a solar farm that'll be affixed above the ground. So it won't even really disturb the ground or penetrate the ground. But, you saw recently the fire they had down there. And this is just going to continue to happen over and over unless there's some agreement on how to demolish that thing. If the proposed development will move through, then there would be money to undertake the demolition and the remediation of the site. And we could put a brownfield plan in place that would allow for the repayment of those costs. But, short of condemning the property at the local level, I don't know what else you can do right now. But it's clear
What they need to do, condemn it.
Yeah, but that would be highly complex though, because you have the federal government, I believe, still has an interest in the property. So there's not a good solution to this other than getting the property owner, the developer, and the city to come to some agreement on how it could be structured. When I go down to Niles to discuss the index project, I'll be meeting with the consultant that's involved with that one as well. So maybe I'll have a clearer idea at that point what the path forward is.
Okay, any other miscellaneous?
Berrien Hills, Dan, any update on Berrien Hills?
Absolutely. It's been radio silence with the guy out of Chicago on that. There's been no movement forward with that. I always thought that, I think I was pretty candid with you guys. I thought it was a long shot project. It was a great project, but there were some considerable roadblocks to making it work. Not the least of which is the elevation of the property.
Yeah.
But I have not heard anything. I've talked to Cornerstone briefly because they were also involved in this, but I have not heard anything coming out of this developer in the last 6 months. So I will follow up on it, but I don't want to be pessimistic. I'll say at least at this point, it appears to be on hold indefinitely.
Okay.
Well, if there's nothing else, I guess we would all stand adjourned.
Is this our last Zoom meeting?
Yes, I should let everyone know, we will be
Yep.
returning to live in-person studio audience meetings starting July 1st, I believe. All of the meetings are going to be in the building, back to normal. So
Can I bring my vodka tonic with me?
If you can.
I asked the question as well. So
But
I think it's probably
not in that mug.
That
I think
mug is just fine.
it's probably easier to disguise a vodka tonic than it is a glass of red wine. So you might be able to speak through with that one, Larry.
Okay.
But yes, we'll see everyone live in July.
Sounds good.